Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone around the world. This is Wraithkind, back again with another episode of our Forgotten Realms D&D campaign with the Protectors. And in this episode, the Protectors have traveled to the Feywild after Banner's patron, Talia, has called for his help. He learns that she has been taken captive and her power somehow neutralized. After an appearance in the Seelie court, the Protectors are clandestinely told that they would meet someone that would help them. Now, after they have left the royal palace in Sildir, the Protectors are left, for a time, to their own devices, while they wait for their contact. Let's go ahead and join them and see what happens next.
We got to court, and there, I think Beetle, Lycum, Emeraldy, and Emeraldy all went into the audience box, where they heard much displeasured whispering at their presence being there. Us being actually the first outsiders, I think, ever allowed in the court. And then Banner, Dawn, and Velis went with Tolliver before the Empress, and there Banner was asked to sort of explain himself and give his announcement, and he told her about Talia's revelation about House Catha. At which point, Anwell sidled up and decided to interject himself into things and challenged Banner's version of the truth, let's say, and questioned him. Somehow Banner and Dawn managed not to kick him in the good berries or start some sort of political incident. And he was allowed to speak and ramble, and perhaps spoke too much because he earned something of a, how should I say, verbal rebuke from the Empress, which sort of made Banner feel pleased that he kept his mouth shut. After appearing in court, however, it was then, actually, while that was all happening, Beetle was approached by some cloaked figures in the audience and told that the group would be escorted to the gardens for a secret task of the Empress. And so we left court and essentially are waiting to be contacted by whatever group or whomever is planning on whatever clandestine thing was supposed to happen to court happened, and now we're waiting to see where that leads us next.
Yeah.
Hopefully I hit everything. Sorry if I rambled a bit.
A lot happened last session. A tremendous amount. I know because by the end my throat was really sore. I was talking a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you all have left the palace at this point. And it was hard to miss the relieved and perhaps slightly mollified expressions of the guards as you did so. The palace doors closing quietly but firmly behind you. And you see the wolf guard still kind of loitering there, each astride their wolf. Tolliver is beside you and he goes, "Well, I think we've done all that we can do for the moment. Whether or not it did any good, I have no clue, but perhaps it will have made a difference. I still don't understand what the Empress wanted of you all, but
I'm sure we'll find out, Tolliver.
Will you be staying in town today?"
I think that would be best. Well, as you've already said, I think you need to keep your distance now.
Quite. I do want to avoid any further entanglements, I hope you understand. Of course, you are welcome to go wherever it is you might within the market district. And you are well familiar, Banner, with this area. For the most part. At least I know you know the taverns well.
Well,
Right.
you know, I know some of them.
Uh-huh.
Well, I think I will find a... I think I will go to the House Coriander and perhaps entertain a little bit. After all, I must keep in practice. And they do have a place here in the Garden District, as do most nobles. Right. If you have need of me, send me a message. And then he looks kind of uncertain as he looks at you all and then just kind of shrugs and walks off.
Well, I was going to stop him and be like, I was just going to say, thank you, Tolliver. And you did Talia proud today.
Well, I hope so.
It took courage to march into the city like that. It reminded me of her a bit.
Yeah, it is something that she would do, but then again, she does tend towards grandstanding and great shows.
Not without backing it up.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But that is true. We'll be in touch. Hopefully with good news soon.
Hopefully. I wish you luck. He pauses a moment and says, you do understand if you need me. House Deora's forces will respond. For her.
Well, I know the call. If Thornkiller's ears are open, I'll make it.
Very well. Well, good luck. And now I must drink some ale. And he turns on his heel and leaves.
Banner looks at everyone. He's like, that makes two of us.
I could do with a drink after all that mess.
I do look forward, my friends, into seeing the interior of one of the fine establishments here in Feywild.
Well, if you'd like, we can go to the... I assume you all saw quite the perhaps unmistakable inn that is the tree on the way in.
Uh-huh.
Two of my favorite things, tree and an inn.
Well, I happen
without
to,
the people.
Well, I happen to stay there quite a... Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Lycum.
I was going to say, tree without the people, but with the alcohol. Always my favorite.
You drink in a lot of trees, Lycum.
Have you met like him?
Oh, these past 600 years have been a great time.
Okay, well, I happen to have stayed there a lot, and the elf in charge, Lena, I happen to know her. So, if you'd like to check out that, then we could. There's no other inn like it, at least that I've ever seen.
I bet they have some pretty amazing elvish wine in there.
Yeah, sorry, Emeraldi. I don't think they have any Hammer Strike Ale.
Well, what are
I'll
we
just
waiting
have
for?
to find out for myself.
And if they don't have Hammer Strike Ale, my friend, of course, we could supply it to them for a price.
Pretty sure the portal closed behind us, so
Well,
good luck
not
with that.
yet. Once we get his brewery up and running, of course, we'll need to supply all the planes.
Interplanar business.
Velas, I might be able to
Exactly,
help you with that
Velas.
at some point.
Every plane needs a hammer strike knee knock.
Agreed.
I can help out with the transport fee. That's about.
Well, if you want to go that way, we could also stop. And obviously, you'll get to see the market on the way. So,
It'll glance at Beetle.
And indeed, as you all make your way down the main thoroughfare of the Palace District, which is essentially a large, wide cobblestone road that's braced on either side by large trees and fairy lights, you manage to get back into the trade district with the familiar hustle and bustle. And ironically enough, the trade district is very un-Feywild like. Matter of fact, if you were to go into any city in the world, almost, you would recognize this. This district is basically caters to outworlders, outsiders, people from various places, mainly the prime material realm. You do see mostly star elves here, but you see a smattering of other cultures and races as well. Most commonly human, dwarf, and halflings. And you even do manage to see a couple of tieflings and a dragonborn along the way. The main district, the main trade marketplace, is basically a place where a lot of merchants set up tents and have awnings on their wagons, as they have used portals or various other means to arrive here to conduct trade, as trade is one of the lifebloods of the city. You see, of course, intermixed with all of the familiar things, the unfamiliar. The fairy lights kind of bobbing up ahead. Instead of street lights, you see drift globes on every where you would normally see a street light. You actually do see the occasional sprite flicking around among the groups, basically more out of curiosity than anything else. And these sprites actually are not at all what you expect, being dressed in kind of shabby clothing, very small shabby clothing, but shabby clothing nonetheless, as it seems to be like this is some kind of city sprite breed or tribe or clan or what have you. You're not really sure how sprites organize themselves.
Street sprites.
Yeah. Just wait till you meet the thugs. No, just kidding. But you do see a lot of that. Of course, the square Treant Inn, with its large, squat tree, is also a firm reminder that you are, no doubt, in the Feywild. And as the hustle and bustle and trading is going on, and merchants hawking their wares, and sprites flitting around, and drift globes drifting, and fairy lights bobbing, what do you wish to do?
Lycum's actually going to try to keep an eye out for maybe, this is going to be very specific, but a druidic magic staff. Does that make sense? I figure of all the places I can find something like that, it'll be here. But we'll see.
You are bound and determined, aren't you?
Yeah, figured.
All right. We'll come back to you in just a moment. Anybody else?
As we're walking through the market, is that sort of what you're talking about?
Yeah. Well, the trade district is about 85% marketplace, so yeah.
Right.
I keep an eye out
Okay,
for
I'm back.
Tinker.
I keep an eye out for an apothecary, like potions, just because those have come in handy with these sorts of fights before. When I almost died fighting beetles.
Okay.
Emerald tries to look out for an armorer or any dwarves he can ask about where he can get some good ale.
Well,
Okay. Beetle, what are you doing?
I'm looking for a Tinker. If they're just keeping an eye out as we're walking through.
yeah, same.
All right. Dawn, is there anything you're wanting to do while you're in the trade district?
Nope, I have no money.
All right.
Oh, that reminds me. Do I actually have money?
That is fair. I don't ever have any
Yeah,
money.
it's been a while.
Holy.
Dang, I don't
Yeah.
have a lot of money actually.
Yeah.
I've spent
Okay.
all my money.
As a group, we have a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured. It's probably, and I figured some stuff might be valuable
All
to
right.
get.
So basically, let me see here. Let's do the easiest first. Apothecary.
Yep. Potions.
What exactly are you looking for, or are you just looking for?
I'll go
want
to that
that-
shop as well. Just
I
to
want
be-
that potion that was so awesome that I drank before that basically made blows with swords just slight scratches. Basically, a potion of invulnerability is what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Good luck finding
Yeah,
one.
that was actually that was
I know that was found in a dungeon.
Yeah,
I'm
you
aware.
eluded that.
I know.
We do have one more in the party. Lycum does have one.
Oh, do you still have one? Oh.
Can I have it? I have like
I
5
was-
max health.
That is true, Ed. With everything that you do, Don.
I think my services should be recognized.
All right. So
Or anything of interest to someone who's a fighter.
I'll trade you a potion of alacrity for it.
all right. So make a investigation check as you're just kind of looking around. You're asking around for an apothecary, a good one, not just any apothecary.
Do I get advantage since I'm with the group? And there, I
Yes,
assume.
someone
I
can
assume.
help you.
Okay.
I'll help you. I'm there.
You said,
I accidentally help you by just like walking with you.
you said investigation.
Yeah.
Oh, I won't help you then.
Yeah. Okay. And I just realized I don't have my dice here.
It makes me so happy to see my commissioned Dawn art on my character page instead of the old image. I think I will ask him to touch up the background at some point.
I've just gotten used to being able to roll dice. I love it. It's an addicting thing.
It is.
It's like must roll dice. I don't
Did
know
what-
though. Last game shop game, I was rolling real good.
Yeah, well, according to the D&D subreddit, DMs only roll the dice to hear the clatter, and they don't pay attention to the rolls and just make it up. So, some people do that, some people
I
don't.
must be doing it wrong then, because
That's definitely what I did when I was DMing.
I very rarely fudge rolls.
Yeah, I don't. Okay. So, you asking around, you and basically drawing on your past experience as well, you're able to kind of found a couple of apothecaries or merchants anyway that sell potions, and you are able to find let's see, I'm not going to role play this out. I'm just going to tell you what you find.
It's fair. I
Um,
know we have other things to do tonight.
Yep. Whoa. Yeah, not that. So you have. I accidentally.
I don't know what it was, but it was probably awesome.
Yeah, no, you're not ready for that. You can't handle the truth. No, just kidding. Yeah, you're able to find about 3 greater health potions for about $250 each, and a health potion, 6 of them for about 45 gold each. You also, the same merchant, basically, between the two, has one kind of interesting potion. You kind of looked at it, and as you're looking at it, you see the potion is like clear except for with a slash of red in it, and the slash of red actually coagulates and moves around and stuff. And as you're shaking it, it doesn't mix at all. You find out it's called a potion of diminution. That one runs about 500 gold.
What is that?
I have one of those already.
I don't see it on the list.
I actually have one of those.
Okay, so Poston, you have one. How'd you get one?
Oh, I found it.
I don't know.
Actually.
I've had it forever.
A potion of diminution. When you drink this potion, you gain the reduce effect of the enlarge reduce spell for 1d6 hours. And you also see a potion of flying. Unfortunately, that is very expensive. It coming in right around 1,000 gold.
I asked Beetle if I can get a potion of greater healing because I am out of them.
Sure.
From party gold, or if we want to get some, because I don't have one in my
250?
possession.
I have a bunch actually.
Yeah, I've got a chunk of gold too.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
Can I find a spell scroll of shield, the level 1 spell?
Yeah. Spell scrolls,
The first level spells?
Yeah, especially the more common, let me look here. The more common scrolls or the lower level scrolls are very common here. So give me a second.
Okay, well, I don't need to buy that. If we have those floating around, I would just like to take one from the party stash of greater.
Beetle's gonna buy you one, and then she hands you one of her own too, because she's got 5.
Oh, okay.
You got 5 greater healings?
Mm-hmm.
You're able to find a shield scroll spell for about 150.
I'm going to go ahead and
Beetle, can I have 60 gold?
Sure.
Okay, I'll purchase 1 spell scroll of the shield spell. But first, may I try to bargain that down at all? Not RPing, just with a persuasion check.
Yeah, go ahead and roll it.
Okay.
Yeah, you can get it for 100.
Okay. Hey, Beetle, can I have 60 gold?
I hand you 6 platinum.
Okay, I give all 6 platinum to the shopkeeper, pay 20 of my own gold. Or pay 40 of my own gold, and then keep the rest.
Okay.
There's 2 of those greater healings left. I'll go ahead and purchase those, but I will try to persuade him down to however much.
He kind of looks at you critically, and he begrudgingly agrees to knock 10 gold off of it.
So 480 for the 2 of them?
Yeah.
I figured it would be nice to have a spell scroll of shield in case my item is down and I really need it. So, an emergency consumable.
I look at him.
Can you read that as a reaction, though?
Well, the spell is a reaction. You can't cast it any other way.
I look at him and I say, I know that I'm not an elf, but is there any way we could talk it down from 40 to 450?
Well, I tell you what. Buy a healing potion and 2 greater healing potion. I'll give you... No, that won't work. Let me think. Honestly, 475 is probably the lowest I can go.
475. Well, so be it. Thank you very much for not taking advantage of this poor human.
Is this guy actually even an elf?
No, he's one of the humans there. Matter of fact, he looks like he looks like a hard bitten. he looks like a very hard bitten merchant. He's got this long, scraggly black beard, and he's bald headed, and he's wearing like practical clothes, not overly embellished clothes, and. You're actually standing. He's got his wagon that's got an awning out there, and he's got shelves of various potions out there. He gives you the 2 greater healing potions, Velis.
Excellent.
Is there anything else? Any other potions?
No.
You sure? I got a great potion of stone skin here. It's a little pricey, but
Does he have one
That
of
was not
either
even said before.
spider climb or knock or invisibility?
I'm sorry?
Spider climb, knock, or invisibility?
I got a potion of climbing.
Meh.
I have spider climb as a spell, by the way.
Oh, never mind.
Remember when I walked up that tree?
Now I remember.
I got a potion of invisibility. He holds up another
Invincibility?
potion. Invisibility.
Oh, invisibility.
This
How much do you
one's
want for
only
that?
750 gold.
Let's just go, everyone. There's ale to be drank.
Yeah, yeah.
Thanks for your business. Or, well, that's what you
As
say.
you leave, but wait, a potion of water breathing. It's a bargain.
Nah, we're good on those. Thanks.
I've already got one. I'm not there. I'm just saying.
Poor guy.
How much for the water breathing?
Oh yeah, 150 gold.
I got one for cheaper.
Velis, don't.
Come
Huh?
on, yeah, fine, sir. You know you want it.
I have like a bandolier of potions at this point and scrolls.
He kind of waves the water breathing potion in front of you, Velis.
Well, I have already purchased 2 greater healing potions from you.
And I gave you a great discount on it.
It gave me a decent discount, but I'll take it for 100.
He'll be
Well,
selling
so
it a loss at that price.
Velis, I can cast it on you.
I
If I just
can't
prepare
give it to you for 100, but I can reduce my overhead, my profit, and give it to you for 125 gold. A bargain at 125 gold.
Well, my friend just told me that if I needed to be able to breathe water, that he would do it for me. So, thanks anyway, but have a wonderful day.
He would breathe water for you. How does that work, sir?
It's mouth to mouth. They're very close.
Yes, he's my best friend in the world. Would you like for us to demonstrate in front of you right now?
It's quite all right, sir.
All right.
You know what?
Like him,
Have a
we would've
good
tried.
day.
like him starts
have
to
a good
slowly
day.
backing up away from Velis.
I'm
I look as we walk
sure
away.
it'll work out.
As we walk away, I look at Lycan. I knew he was going to say no.
I wasn't sure you were gonna say no.
And I give Lycan a wink. Me neither. You're very handsome, man.
Have you
So-
smelled me recently?
I'm afraid I've got a cold. Do you stink?
Beetle says I does. I do.
He doesn't actually stink, though, because I had Beetle prestidigitate him before if he went to court.
Yep.
I forgot about that. I remember that.
It was non-consensual prestidigitation.
It's all right. I drew crafted myself back to where I wanted to be.
You prestidigitated me without my consent.
May be illegal, but not set.
Awkward.
I have to check with laws of the Feywild. And I know that prime material plane is completely acceptable.
To prestidigitate others.
Yes. For the good of the community.
Oh, man.
Noses everywhere.
Wow. Wow.
That went weird.
Okay. Yep, it did.
But in a good and funny way. So that's important.
All right.
Always.
So as you leave the potion merchants, you all are looking now for good dwarven ale, and you actually find this a low-roofed building reminiscent of dwarven architecture, and in front of it hangs a placard of a red-faced dwarf. A red-faced elf with a tankard in hand that looks as if he had just fallen on his butt, with his leg bent at an odd angle, and underneath reads "The Broken Elf."
Oh boy.
Oh no, we're not. Oh god, dude! I offer to take you to the Tree Inn, a one-of-a-kind inn, the likes of which no plane has ever seen, and you want to go to the Broken Elf. I mean, I like that about you, but seriously, Emeraldi?
Technically, Banner, the Feywild has seen the tree.
Going to murder one of you before the day is over.
I look over at Velas and I wink and I'm like, mission accomplished.
Velas grins hugely.
Look, you have to understand, any dwarf will go to any length to get a good pint of ale. If that means I got to sit in some raunchy bar, then I got to do that.
And so do you go in?
Well, let's go see Arella then.
I mean, what is anybody going to do to Emeraldi and plate mail with a giant warhammer? I mean,
Wait,
what are
wait,
they really going to do to him?
Emeraldi, wait, before you go in, I need to warn you about Arella. She's a little she's a little handsy. The owner, Arella. She's
Who's that?
It's the owner of the bar that we're walking into. She's a dwarf. And I just have to say that's my experience with her, that she's going to like you very much, and you need to set some boundaries as soon as you walk in the door.
What kind of boundaries?
And the boundaries in which you... Yes, the magical kind.
Some paladin boundaries?
Just saying, a strapping young dwarf like yourself is not something she gets to see here very often. It's going to be an interesting trip. Prepare yourself.
Now that sounds more intriguing after all.
This is gonna be good.
Emeraldi ignores you and goes inside.
As he goes into it, Lycan walks up to him, taps him on the back, and says, "Go get him," and casts Bark Skin onto Emeraldi.
Oh my. Okay.
You've been enchanted without your consent, Aldi.
By the way, none of that is in the primer. I just knew her name.
Oh, you're killing me.
Well done.
I was just messing with Emeraldi.
So.
Or was I?
That'll be
all right. So, inside the tavern, you see a simple affair. The tavern is a simple affair. A long bar running across the front, behind which a stout, blonde-haired, ponytailed dwarven woman is standing, wearing a dirty white apron and wiping down the bar. To the right sits a few solid square tables with chairs surrounding them. The dwarven woman looks up upon your arrival, revealing a fair freckled face, and as she smiles, stained teeth, and a soft down of a short beard so many dwarven women are known for. And upon seeing you, all and recognizing you, Banner, she goes, "Well, Banner, how are you doing there, laddie?"
I'm doing well, Aurelia. How are you?
Come in. I've got the drinks for you. She starts slamming down like 4, 5, 6 ales, and all of them are pint-sized. And then she sees the curiously looking bark-skinned dwarf. And she goes, "Well, you're a strange one, aren't you? It'll be hard to get to you, and it." She kind of gives him a wink.
You better bring a saw.
Well, I got the hammer for you, nuts.
You better bring 10 snips.
Well, I got it all for you. Come on in. Your drink's on the house, young man. Young dwarf. And she kind of, she picks up one of the ales and she dumps it out and then goes to another keg that's far down the line, a smaller keg, and she fills that up and she slams it in front of you, Emeraldi, and she goes, "Well, there you go, you bark-skinned lad. Have at her."
So what is it?
It's my special recipe. You have to drink it first.
Now, I'm curious, being a son of a brewmaster, where do you hail from, Aurelia?
Oh, all over the place, but I landed here several years ago, about 150. It's been kind of nice. Well, except for the broken elf, but that's another story entirely.
Emerald takes a nice, strong whiff of the ale to kind of see, what's in it before he starts drinking it.
Make a perception check. Oh yeah, you smell like this spicy, really spicy scent coming up off of it. A hint of cinnamon. And it kind of reminds you of some really kind of a cinnamon spice mulled whiskey almost.
Well, Emerald opens up the hatch and takes a couple of good guggalugs.
All right, make a Constitution saving throw. Not that I was planning this or anything.
Ain't nothing but a thing for Emeraldi.
Fair enough. All right, in the D4. Okay. Yeah, you drink basically what feels like liquid fire as it like drains down your throat with a really nice strong cinnamon aftertaste, and it hits you so hard that you kind of, let me ask you this, how much of it do you drink?
I took probably a quarter of it down.
Yeah.
I'm thirsty.
And just having drank a quarter of it, even your experienced dwarven palate and your tolerance for dwarven ale is tested as you immediately feel the effects of being slightly buzzed. And your eyes kind of water and you're like, whoa! But it is, even though it's, fire in a bottle, it is astoundingly good. And nothing like you've ever had before.
Well, that is something.
I told you, laddie. A little bit of cinnamon and a little bit of, well, they got this fire hops here in the Feywild. It's a wonderful thing. You can't get it anywhere else. That's what
I was just thinking to myself, it's like taking the slag off a melting steel and putting it in a cup and taking a drink of it.
Haha, Morden himself would be happy to drink it. And I tell you what, I will serve all your companions this if you want, but I will warn you, this is made for Dwarven constitution.
Well, I would say maybe give them a little baby dwarf baby glass.
Ah, very well. Well, what say you, laddies and lasses? Are you interested?
I've had it before. I'm good, Arla.
Ah,
We have
yes.
business ahead.
You have had it before. I remember picking you up off the floor several
All
times.
right.
I'm just
They don't need to
saying.
tell us stories.
You know what?
What
And what
happens
about the
in
rest
the
of you?
Feywild stays in the Feywild. Isn't that what they say here?
Isn't this the Feywild?
Look, Banner, I have no idea. I still don't understand exactly where I'm at, but I'm having a good time drinking this beverage. It's, after it burns all the way down, you kind of warm up to it, literally.
Oh, yeah, you feel the heat in your cheeks already. What about the rest of you?
I look at her and I craft a little shot glass and I'll say, I'll take a sip and pass it over to her.
Oh, alrighty then. She takes the glass and fills it up and gives it back. It's called Erlena's Fire Spitters. It's very nice.
I look at Emeraldi and I go, well, my friend, after all the time we've spent helping me learn the Dwarvish language and then, of course, teaching me the finer points of Dwarven drinking, am I prepared for such a beverage?
Emerald just starts laughing, and he does not answer. He just keeps laughing and laughing and laughing. And he takes another couple of guggalugs of the beverage. Well, just because you know a little Dwarven and how to say it means you might have a couple of curse words after this eat your stomach. But go ahead and try it if you want.
Oh, it's a stout one, isn't he?
Do you have a bottle of that I could purchase?
A bottle? It don't come in bottles. We got a whole keg for you back there.
How much for a keg?
Oh, lad. It'll run you at least 100 gold for a small keg.
All right, let's take a small keg then.
Ah? Sir Paladin, are you sure you're okay with this? He's taking his life in his hands.
Well, Velas, you're not actually going to try to consume this keg, right? I mean, you're taking it to...
Yes, it is for us to consume as we travel. You seem to like this, so I thought I'd purchase a keg for us to have as we traveled.
I think it's... I'm just thirsty.
Drunk traveling in the Feywild, now that'd be the thing to see.
Are you sure you don't want that Emeraldi? Because I'll help you out, Velas. This seems like a great idea.
I mean, Aurelia, is there other properties to this your beverage here? I mean, if flame gets near it, does it catch on fire or explode?
Not that I know of, but I don't go around trying to burn my ale. I guess I should have told you that before.
Oh no.
Well, what was it?
Oh no. It's the Paladin's burial chamber all over again.
No, I didn't hear what you said. Z was making noise.
Oh, she said it gives you the shits.
So it's the Taco Bell of the Feywild? Is that what I'm getting?
I'm saying, oh no, Everoni just drank it.
Probably drunk or something?
Well, all I can say is, considering what we've eaten the past couple days, all those insects, maybe I do want it out of my body as soon as possible.
Something like that.
Well, if you're still of a mind to buy it, I can give it for you. Just understand I'm not responsible for the results.
Now, of course, I'd like the small keg. Just still stop it, and then I'll have a glass of it myself. The small keg to
a
take.
Glass.
Then a glass I can do.
Glass.
I passed 50 gold over.
Interesting to see.
She goes and grabs just a regular wooden stein and fills it up and plops it down in front of Ellis. He goes, "There you go, sir, a glass." She
I
just
pass him
kind of,
over 50 gold.
she kind of winks at Emeraldi again. So you want the keg, yes?
Yes.
Ah, very well. It's your funeral. And she humps back into the back end of the tavern, and you hear kind of grunting, and she comes forward, just smacks this. It's a fairly good sized keg. It's about a foot tall, and about just about 8 inches, 12 inches in diameter as well. And she goes, "That'll be 100 gold, sir."
I hand her my 50 and 50 and Lycom's 50. And
She scoops it off the counter and goes, "Well, I've got some fresh mutton. Some Feywolf mutton, but you can have some if you want. It's just a mere 5 silver each."
Well, I could definitely deal with some mutton. That'd be good. I'll take some.
I lean over to Emeraldi. I go, "Do you think she's ever heard of Hammer Strike Ale? I mean, it seems that most dwarves we run into."
Now, look, Velis. It's going to take a little bit here. We're just starting to get to know each other.
Right, I just didn't know if she'd...
"Oh, we are we? Well then, you can come up to my place any time this evening.
We
I'd
certainly
love to
could
get to
share
know
some-
you, my bark-skinned friend."
Well,
How long does
hopefully
that
this-
last, by the way?
It lasts an hour.
Okay.
I stand behind Emeraldi and I start massaging his shoulders. I'm like, "You've got this, Emeraldi. You've got this, my friend. She can't stand a chance against you, my friend."
What are you talking about?
I thought this was dwarven courtship that you all were going to fight.
Now, leave it to a human to be so blunt about such interesting and personal things of a dwarf.
For once, I miss my people.
Arella kind of looks at you, Emerald, and he goes, "So where are you from, you strapping young dwarf?"
I'm from Earthheart.
"Ah, Earthheart. I've heard of the place, never been."
You should have. My father's family made Hammerstrike Knock. Very famous brew in my neck of the woods. It's so good you slap your knee.
"Well, I don't know about the knee, but you can slap me any time."
Well, that is quite an invitation.
"I've not heard of the Dale, though. Then again, I've been here for a while."
Yeah, there's been a shortage of it in the prime material plane. Didn't we have a bottle in some of our stores or something?
I believe we do have some with us.
Yeah,
Do you
also.
have it on you?
I do.
Well, pull it out.
I
Don't whip it out, but pull it out.
As you say, Emeraldi, I pull out one of the bottles of Hammer Strike Knock that I've got with me.
Okay.
A gift.
You're just giving it to me like that?
Hey, if you like it, you could sell the rest.
Why would I want to sell an ale given to me in friendship? She kind of smiles at you.
Very nice. We'll have a sip while we're sitting here talking about dwarven kind.
All right, then. She pours the Hammer Strike Knock and takes a sip, and she goes, "Well, not so bad at all, Emeraldi. Not bad at all." And for the next little while, you continue to talk and enjoy this unconventional dwarves company.
Emerald has forgotten about his desire to look at some armor.
Fair enough.
I warned him. He fell into the trap.
So while Emeraldi and Arella is getting to know one another better,
It's a thing that happened.
it's a thing that happened. Beetle and who else is looking for Tinker?
I'll be out with Beetle.
All right.
Banner's gonna leave. He's not really in a carousing mood.
Yeah, I'll be with Beetle too, I guess.
All right. So, like him, you do manage to find something. You find this kind of hole-in-the-wall place that's like a very narrow shop built into a row of shops on the edge of the trade district. As you walk in, you see a lot of what looks to be fairly useless things, at least useless to you, because they're more geared towards rituals and things like that. You know, special chalks and special inks and smudge sticks and what have you. You know, vials of what looks to be blood, but you have no idea what kind of blood it might be. And other things. Among the other things that you see there, standing in a corner, almost hidden, obscured by some kind of odd-looking drape that it was clearly for sale for something. You see a staff. You do see a staff. The staff looks rather plain, with the exception that at its head, you see that it's got it's sculpted into a snake head. As you as you grab it, you kind of looking at it. Do you want to inquire after it? I'm assuming.
Yeah, definitely ask about it.
All right. So basically, you find out that this is called the Staff of the Adder. You can use a bonus action to speak the staff's command word and make the head of the staff become that of an animate poisonous snake for 1 minute. By using another bonus action to speak the command word again, you can return the staff to its normal inanimate form. You can make a melee attack using the snake head, which has a reach of 5 feet. Your proficiency bonus applies to the attack roll. On a hit, the target takes 1d6 piercing damage and must succeed on a DC 15 Constitution saving throw or take 3d6 poison damage. The snake head can be attacked while it is animate, and it has a armor class of 15 and 20 hit points. In other words, it can be destroyed. If the head drops to 0 hit points, the staff is destroyed. As long as it is not destroyed, the staff regains all lost hit points when it reverts to inanimate form. And he informs you that this staff is going to run you about 475 gold.
I'll think about it, and I kind of place it in the corner, and I'll let the group know that I'm thinking about it, but I'm not sure yet. So we can go find the tinker while I wonder about this thing.
If you refer to it as a venomous snake, it'd probably be a lot better. Poisonous ones, not quite as dangerous.
Well, it does an additional 3d6 poison damage. So.
It was just a joke. The poisonous things make you sick if you eat them. Venomous things make you sick if they bite you.
All right. Yeah, you were able to find... What exactly are you looking for a tinker for? You're muted.
Elves aren't tinkers.
Just looking to see if I can find some odds and ends or interesting scraps to incorporate into my masterwork that I'm working on.
Oh yeah. Actually,
there are lots of non-elves here, though.
You do find one important piece that sticks out among all the normal stuff. And when I say normal stuff, normal for a tinker. We're talking springs and sprockets and gears and locks and
inclined planes.
All kinds of crazy things. But among all of them, you see what looks to be an ornate crystal that's very well cut. And it's kind of set in this gold setting around its middle. And as you're looking at it, it literally sparks with energy, kind of little bits of electricity is kind of writhing over the crystal. And you recognize this as a arcane power core.
Okay.
And of course, any other springs and sprockets that you might want, oils, things like that, you're able to go ahead and grab. The springs and sprockets, most of them are like a silver a piece. They're pretty abundant. The power core is going to run you a little bit more at about 60 gold.
Okay. Is it going to give me any cool extra stuff on him mechanically, or is it just something that I will need to build him?
You will need to build him.
Okay.
It's not extra. It's just, you need it to have it, to build him.
Okay. Okay, then I will go ahead and pick that up. And then I'll just pick up a handful of sprockets and things.
Okay.
Replenish my supply.
Yep. Is there anything other than that you are looking for in particular?
Nope.
Okay. Anybody else needed a tinker?
Not unless they have any cool little gadgets that are relatively inexpensive but useful.
They don't really, at least nothing that you haven't already done or are not capable of doing within your class.
Mm-hmm.
You also know that this place is more likely to have arcane-oriented items than tinker-type stuff.
Okay.
So, all right.
All right. I'm very pleased with my purchase, though, and I fuss over it as I put it into my bag, and
Okay.
I'm excited.
And I just realized how there's not a ton of staffs in here that are really cool. I should make a few. All right. Anybody else?
I think that's it for me, anyway.
All right. So yeah, back at the Broken Elf, Emeraldi. You're continuing to have a long heart-to-heart with Arella, and as you do so, she's smiling at you more and more with those beautifully stained teeth, and by this time, how much have you drank?
Oh boy, I'm probably on to my second beverage now.
All right, and both of them are fire spitters?
Well, unless she's changed the beverage.
Oh, no, she wants to get you nice and drunk, which she is not shy in telling you that either. And she goes, oh, I want to get you another stein here, one moment. And she goes back and she grabs this stein that is twice the size of the stein that you had before. And she goes, I think one more ought to do it. And she just fills it up with more fire spitter, and she kind of wobbles over and sets it in front of you. At about this time, you all return to the Broken Elf to,
Collect Emeraldi before he ruins himself. Yes.
I don't know what you guys are going to do, but you return to the Broken Elf, and you see Arella just, put this giant, like Sam Riegel's, big old stein on Critical Role that takes up his entire head. That's how big it is. And she just
Arella.
sets it.
Arella.
Banner, back already.
Yeah, I need him later.
Well, so do I!
Emeraldi, we have work to do, right?
Work?
Yeah, we're going to be contacted and have a thing to do.
It's kind of hard to say.
Beetle, make a
young
perception
dwarf
check.
Not a whole lot of contact with female dwarves. Nature's taking its course.
Lycan walks up and casts. Wait 1 second. Let me look at this.
Does anybody have anything that can sober him up later? Because if we do, then that's fine.
He can sober himself up, technically.
Yeah, I was gonna say I do have lesser restoration, but I know he does too, so I can slap him in the face and tell him.
All right, I didn't. All right, well then. All right, Arella, you can have him for a couple hours, whatever you need.
While all this is going on, Beetle, you see almost a shadow move within, just kind of slip inside the door. At first, you mistake it for just a shadow of a passing, a passerby, and then you realize, no, that was a person. And you kind of take a closer look. You know how it is, like when you think you see something, and then you look at it, and you have to stare at it for a while just to see if you're really seeing what you think you're seeing.
Right.
That's exactly what you're doing, and it takes the whole duration of this exchange between Banner, Emeraldi, and Lycum for you to realize that this is a very tall, very slim, pale-skinned, white-haired elf that is kind of leaning back in the shadow near one of the corners there by the entrance. He has two very dangerous looking longswords belted on, and this cowl, or not cowl, this looks like a scarf almost around his neck. You also notice he's wearing leather of browns and greens, and underneath of which is a scale mail shirt. And he's just kind of leaning back with arms crossed. He's not moving or making any dangerous, threatening gestures or anything. He's just kind of leaning back and taking you all in and looking at you all with a critical eye.
I watch him and I just kind of give him a nod of acknowledgement.
He slips back out after that.
Banner,
Yes.
do you happen to know a star elf with white hair who walks around wearing a scarf and a couple of really wicked-looking longswords?
Do I know a star elf like that?
No.
Okay.
Because he just snuck in here, watched us for like 60 seconds, and as soon as he saw that I'd noticed him, he slipped back out. It's kind of weird.
Is he the guy that you met earlier?
I didn't see the face of the guy I met earlier.
Oh. I was kind of hoping Esther might come herself, because I know what she looks like, but
Well,
we might need to check that out. I don't.
Yeah, I'm thinking
one way or another.
That might have been a summons of a sort.
Sorry, Arella. It's time for us to go.
But you can't take them. I just got them all liquored up.
Well, you didn't, because I stopped him from drinking the one that would have done him in, but I promise I'll bring him back before we leave. He's all yours.
You better, or I'll charge you 3 times the going rate next time.
All
and
right,
I won't pick you up out of the floor.
Hey. Ow.
Emeraldi grabs Aurella's hand and kisses it. I'll be back.
Oh,
he didn't listen to me.
Handsome man.
He didn't listen to me at all, did he?
Nope.
Look, Banner, aren't you here for the love of a woman?
Oh, dear God. What gods.
Right? Call of nature. And this just happens to be my moment of call of nature.
This is not how I expected this trip to go. Let's go.
I'm already kind of heading out and looking around for that guy.
All right.
Arella, I'm glad I could provide you with
Make another perception check. As you,
Uh.
all right, as you exit the tavern, there's like this.
Emeraldy's going to use his oath spell for lesser restoration on himself to sober him up if we're going to be going into combat or something.
Okay. There's an alley to the right, and as you're looking around, you see that same elf leaning against the wall of the alley, again with his arms just kind of crossed.
Can we help you with something?
Well, no, but I think I can help you.
Oh.
My name's Storm. I'm supposed to conduct you. Come this way. And he steps into the pink light of the Feywild, and as he does so, you all realize that he's not even a star elf. He's a high elf. A very, very kind of lean-looking, tall high elf as he starts walking off without a backward glance. He seems to weave into the crowd lithely, just kind of not even touching anybody, and you can't help but realize how skillful that act is as you're trying to follow him, and you're like bumping people and excuse me, coming through, and you're going through this crowd, and he leads you across the trade district. And as he nears this gate, he stops and walks off to the side. As he waits for you to come by, or come catch up, he says, well, I was told to conduct you to the Garden District. There is something that a mutual friend says that you may wish to be aware of. And beyond that, she cannot help, if you catch what I mean.
Yep.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
I knew that was coming.
I'm giving you back what you put down from him.
He looks at you and he just kind of shakes his head a little bit and he goes, humans. And he goes right up to the Garden District gate and he just glances at the guards and they kind of look a little nervous as they catch the House Emis insignia on his poledron, and they like hurriedly open the gate. You were all ushered in short order to... I'm sorry, what?
Nothing. Sorry.
Are you sure?
Well, I meant to tell everyone about House of Emis at some point, and I was wondering if it was possible to have a whispered conversation as we're walking. To at least give them a quick rundown. But
sure.
It seems pretty self-explanatory. Okay. So while we're walking...
You're walking through the trade district still.
And seeing the insignia on his shirt now, I lean into everyone, and I'm like, so it's... just wanted to fill you all in. This is the House of Spies that I mentioned earlier. And
shit.
Okay, all right. This isn't my forte, okay? Just thought I'd let you know. They're a little shady, and not just that they stick to the shadows. So we need to be careful.
And with that, you guys step into the Garden District. And stepping into the Garden District is like stepping into another world entirely. A strange world sequestered away from both the Feywild and civilization. As you step through the gate and into the Garden District, your feet land on soft grass. You look around and you see a brook cutting across your vision, tumbling over rock and root alike. The trees in the area are old, but not overly large like many of the trees you've seen since entering the Feywild, though no less unique in that fleshy bulbs of golden light hang from its branches, casting everything in its light, and at the same time providing soft shadows easily hidden in. Vines crawl up the trunk of each tree. You see that the babbling brook finally settles down quietly into a pond covered with water lilies. Occasionally, a large dragonfly swoops down for some water, and filaments unfurl from the center of a nearby water lily in an effort to snag the passing dragonfly. You see very large houses and mansions scattered throughout this district, and no uniform, like, along the street type way. They're just kind of scattered here and there, walled mansions. And as you're going by, you hear Storm whisper under his breath, "That's House Carentil. That's another minor noble house." And you get the feeling that this garden district is where many of the major and a few of the minor houses, noble houses, have their compounds or have their main houses here. Banner, you quickly realize that House Theora may actually be the oddity in this. And he continues to lead you through the garden district. The garden district, even though from the outside doesn't look very large, is surprisingly large as you continue on for nearly an hour, more or less in a straight line as you are heading further and further into the garden district, and you continue to see other odd things like what looked like to be a swimming ape with gills and things like that. Just really strange oddities that you wouldn't normally see. And then finally, Storm begins to slow down as he kind of settles in the shadows under a particularly large tree. Before you stands a large compound walled with about 20-foot walls. This compound is unique in that it seems to share the back wall of this compound is shared with the back wall of the city. That wall half again as high as the rest of the compound walls. Inside the walls you see what looks to be a very strange looking square-like squat structure of it reminds you a little bit of well, if we were to say modern day equivalency, it'd be a lot of the Asian type structure with the swooping roof lines and that come out to a point. And that's what this mansion kind of looks like, or this compound kind of looks like. As you all finally catch up to, as you join Storm beneath the tree, he kind of looks at you all and says, "We must climb the outer wall. And there, on the other side, well, then we just wait." And he kind of looks at you all. And this wall is about 40 feet in height. And he goes, "You are capable of such, yes?"
Insight check this guy.
Okay.
Meanwhile,
what are you insight checking him for?
If he's leading us into a trap.
Okay.
Meanwhile,
Yes.
Banner says, "I've got this," and he grabs a length of rope and he just walks up the wall and drops the rope and then drops down the other side and drops the rope and then drops down the other side so everyone has a rope to climb up. There.
All right. Velis, he looks like he's being he's not really hiding anything. His face his expression is very hard to read. Matter of fact, one thing you have noticed when you kind of take your first look at Storm after having gotten into the Garden District is now the scarf that was around his neck. Now it's pulled up to cover his nose and mouth, so that all you see is his eyes and his hair that's being held back. His eyes look very unreadable and also very hard, very cold and calculating. He manipulates a ring on his finger and he flits out of existence, and you see him now at the top of the wall with you, Banner, as the rest, and he kind of produces a coiled rope and that he throws down and hooks his grappling hook on the top of the wall and motions you all to come on up. What do you do?
Beetle starts climbing.
Alright, make an athletics check.
At advantage since there's a rope.
At advantage. You get about 3 feet up and you're like, guys?
I pull the rope for Beetle.
I was gonna say I would come up behind Beetle and like have her jump on my back as I climb up it.
Yeah, like him. You're able to get up, no problem.
Yeah, can I grab Beetle on the way? Can she just like slide down and like jump onto my back?
Yeah, there's a couple of ropes now. Emeraldi, it takes you a lot of effort because you're hoisting up not just yourself and your gear, but also very heavy plate armor. But you do manage to kind of clamber up over the lip of the battlements there, and you just kind of lay on your back for a moment, gasping in breath. It was such a difficult climb. Velis, you're able to shimmy up with surprising alacrity. Don, what are you doing?
I'll climb up, or attempt to, rather.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're able to get up, no problem.
That's +0. It's a good roll for that.
Yeah. On the other side of the wall, you can now see it gets you about 100 yards of just clear space. There's no wood or anything. There's a lot of like moss-covered rocks and stuff. But the forest is pushed back, cut back by, the Empress's guards, perhaps. You're not really sure who might have done it, but it was obviously a tactical decision. You all, I'm just going to use the same. For Beetle, you can re-roll if you want. But,
I'm totally happy letting my friends help me up.
So, you guys are able to pick up the ropes, kind of throw them over to the other side, and clamber on down. Looking around, Storm leads you a little bit further until he kind of settles in behind some moss-covered rocks on his haunches, and he just seems content to wait.
Banner starts trying to take a short rest.
To be clear, where are we? We're outside the city now? Or we're still in the garden?
Yes, you are just outside the back walls of the Garden District.
Okay, so we're in a clearing where the woods have been cleared away from the wall.
Yeah, you're hidden, you're crouching down amongst some moss-covered rocks, very large rocks, boulders more like.
I asked Storm if we know how long we're going to be waiting.
He just shakes his head and he motions and he points towards the wall. All of you make perception checks if you're going to look where he's pointing here. Oh yeah, Beetle, you see it. Emeraldi, you don't see nothing but a wall. Dawn, at first you don't see it, but then
I do.
But then you do. And what you and Beetle see, along with Storm quite obviously, is what looks to be a small fracture in the wall. Is upon, just staring at it for a moment more, you realize that this fracture is very straight. It's far too straight to be just a crack. And he says, I think you'll we're here in just, it wouldn't be too long.
All right, I'm gonna find a place nearby, and I'm gonna watch that seem like a hawk, because I assume now that it's a secret door.
All right. Yeah, and if you need a short rest for anything, I think everyone's pretty rested up, isn't it? Aren't you?
Well, it's relevant for Banner because he gets all his spells back with just a short rest. So
right. Okay. But all of you, you're all set. You all have your spells and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
I was trying to remember when the last long rest you had. It's been a while.
As a warlock, it's just relevant because they only get very few spells, but they get them back super quickly with the short rest option. So.
Yep. It was about an hour later, where you all hear this kind of soft grinding sound, this grinding of stone on stone. Beetle, you see indeed this supposed hairline crack in the wall begin to expand. And it expands to about 4 feet in width and about roughly 6 feet in height. It's not very big. And Storm says, here we go. Now, he kind of looks to you, Banner, and says, don't do anything stupid. We want to know where he goes. And as he says that, a familiar flame-haired form steps through the door.
Banner's knuckles go pale again, even though...
And you see he's carrying this... excuse me. Let me try that one again. Actually, I had to look. Strapped to his back in an ungainly fashion, because you can't necessarily draw these swords when they're strapped to the back like that. It's a very large two-handed sword. He's wearing scale mail and very well armed and armored, and he looks very prepared. You see the familiar form of Anwell as he looks around. By the way, are all of you trying to be stealthy?
I am, and after I saw him come through that door and heard what Storm
everyone
said.
makes stealth checks.
If everyone else being stealthy, I'll be stealthy. Even though Don isn't entirely sure what's going on.
I think if Lycan can do it quietly, he'll do pass without a trace. But if it takes... it has verbal, never mind, we're too soon.
I rolled a 1.
Holy
So did
crap, guys. Wow.
And my 1 was still
Even
better
Beetle...
than multiple other people's rolls.
Even Beetle rolled poorly.
Oh, wait, I have advantage because I have the hood. That's right.
Oh, okay.
I didn't roll a 1.
That's something at least.
Okay, so this is rare.
It's still pretty awful, though.
But I have never... Okay, I rolled a 1.
Oh.
For the perception check. Which, ironically enough, Velis, even though you rolled a 1, you are hidden.
You're saying
I have never had that happen.
Afraid this was going to take a totally different turn.
I have never had that happen. Anyway.
Wow.
It's okay, we could just kill them.
Yeah, well,
you need to find
you can certainly try.
In fact, we should do it anyway.
As Anwell kind of looks around, not really seeing anything, he pauses for just a full 10 seconds as he's trying to look carefully, and then he starts walking. He walks across the clear-cut terrain and into into the forest. Storm breathes a sigh of relief and he goes, well. He kind of looks at you, Velis, and he goes, be quieter next time. I could hear you breathe from here.
I look at Storm and I ask, are we going to be climbing anything anytime soon? Anything else anytime soon?
Storm just kind of shrugs.
I think we're following him now.
Like maybe something to help us be extra stealthy if we're following.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll definitely cast Pass Without a Trace now, as we're trying to follow him.
All right. Yeah, go ahead and make, with Pass Without a Trace, go ahead and make another stealth checks.
With that, Lycum also changes into direwolf form.
All right.
And I'm going to make it from there. I'm going to pull that one up.
All right, Emeraldy, I need you to make a stealth check.
Don't roll a -1.
Nice.
Hey,
Nice.
we're all over 10. That's what counts.
Okay.
Wait, do you need a new one from me?
Yeah, everyone
Yeah.
needs a new one.
I missed that. I'll roll a new one. I still have advantage though, so I better be fine.
And Pass Without a Trace.
Oh.
35.
Yeah, you're fine.
Double 19s.
You actually see, like, Dawn, like, rupture the space-time continuum. No, I'm just
Well,
kidding.
I have like a chameleon cloak, so it helps.
So yeah, you're able to quietly, moving from tree to tree, carefully follow Anwell as he goes into the tree. You hear Storm whisper under his breath ever so softly, he's going to the crystal wood. This is unexpected. And indeed, as you're looking around the wood, the forest that's closing in around you, you begin to see why it is called the crystal wood, as many of the trees have, in place of bark, what looks to be shards of crystal growing out of them, giving it a faintly luminescent property as you kind of dart from tree to tree, from shadow to shadow. It continues on for about 30 minutes as Anwell seems to be going just straight as an arrow towards some place you have no idea. And all of a sudden Anwell stops once more and looks around. Seeing nothing, he continues on. What's that, Velis?
Nothing. Accident.
Oh. He continues on for another...
Bill accidentally crits some weed as he's walking by.
Poor rabbit.
You follow him for another 30 minutes as he continues his journey. The crystal wood now being a little more dense than the old growth Feywild, old growth forest that you went through on your way to Sildir, as you are finding the going a little bit more difficult. You begin seeing, now that you've entered the crystal wood and are further into it, on top of the crystal shards that are growing into and the bark of each tree almost, you begin to see large crystalline formations, boulders, kind of heaped up here and there as the terrain gets more rocky. It's another 15 minutes after that. You guys have been following him now for just over an hour as he seems to reach his destination, as he pauses in front of what looks to be a sheer face of crystalline rock. And he looks around once more. Everyone make a new stealth check at this point. Beetle, you make me sick.
Yeah, that stealth check wasn't the one, but it still works.
Yep, let's see. I'm missing...
It's only been half an hour?
Yep. About an hour and 15 minutes. A little over an hour. Dawn, I need another stealth check.
Then the spell has worn off then,
check.
unless it was recast.
Wait, you
yeah.
said it's been more than an hour? So
Yeah, it's been an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, I haven't changed back out of direwolf form, so it hasn't been recast.
Okay. After looking around for a moment, Anwell places a hand on some thick roots that is covering some of the crystalline rock face there, resting there. And reluctantly, it seems, the roots creak and groan as they move sinuously aside to reveal a recess into the stone. Anwell pulls a runestone from his pouch. It's roughly the size of his hand and pushes it into the recess. With the sound of grinding rock, a piece of the rock face there, crystalline rock face, splits, revealing a passageway into the dark stone, or into the crystalline stone. The roots that had moved previously quickly return to their place, obscuring both the recess and the runestone.
How far away are we?
Once again, you're roughly about 20 feet away.
I used message to whisper to Storm. Do we need to follow him?
He seems a little hesitant, but also
Can I ask? Oh, sorry.
puzzled.
Can I?
Kind of a puzzled expression on his face, or in his eyes anyway.
Banner starts to inch closer because he doesn't want this door to go shut.
Yeah, that's what Beetle's thinking too.
All right. Without hesitation, Anwell moves into the opening and disappears from your sight as it looks like the opening takes a sharp downward slant as he just quickly walks down.
As soon as
Behind him?
Go ahead.
As soon as he's out of sight, I move quickly there to see if it's closing and see if the runestone's still there and see what's happening.
All right. The runestone is currently obscured by the fact that the gnarly roots that had moved away for him are now draped back over the runestone, so you can't see it. And these are thick, like oak-like roots. As far as you can tell, it's there. As you're looking, the opening does indeed start to grind close.
I start tearing at the roots and holding it with Banner's strength if I have to see if I can keep it open.
All right, what are the rest of you doing?
I'm running for the door.
Okay, you're running for the door.
I'm tearing the roots away and trying to hold the door open.
Making that. Well, you can't do both. You got to do one or the other.
Okay, well, I'm sticking. If I can get through the roots to hold it, then that's what I'll do. I just thought I had to go through this first.
The roots are not obscuring the door; they're obscuring the recess where the runestone is.
I misunderstood. In that case, I'm holding the door open. I'm like Banner's got it full on his shoulders, squat mode, trying to hold it open.
Make an athletics check, Beetle. You manage making an acrobatics check as you're trying to jump in. What are the rest of you doing? Quickly.
Same.
I'll just run in with Beetle.
Yep.
Okay, acrobatics.
Emerald's going to try to assist with the door.
Okay, athletics. Velis, what are you doing?
Same thing, going through the door.
Okay.
Oh man, Banner and Emeraldi are like Hercules up in there with this door.
Yeah. Yeah, between the two of you, the door actually stops moving as the rest of you kind of leap through. And
Is
now,
Storm coming with us?
Yeah, Storm actually does follow you. Yeah, he gets he gets through no problem. All right, everyone's through, but you and Emeraldi Banner.
I feel pretty confident since it's not moving that we're both doing pretty well. I shush Emeraldi in because he's a little shorter, and then I let it just sort of slide off of me as I step back in.
All right, and so when you do, the crystalline door slides shut, with a grinding kind of thump.
Now, question.
Mm-hmm.
When we were traveling here, couldn't Banner sense, like, the general direction that Talia was?
Yeah.
Or am I... okay.
Well, he could at one point, yeah.
Okay. Banner.
Whether or not Banner's been paying attention to that, I have no clue.
I'm gonna pull on his like jerk or whatever. I'm gonna go, Banner, can you feel her? Is she here?
Is it a constant in his mind here? Because it sounded like it sort of was. So I would. Does he just automatically know that they've been?
You feel like she's very near. She's closer to you now than she's ever been in a long time.
She's closer to me now than she's been in a long time. Sorry, I couldn't resist. I couldn't resist. No, I mean, we're getting
we're in the right place.
I hope so. And he just sighs.
All of you without dark vision cannot see a thing at this point, as the room, or the tunnel, more accurately, is plunged into darkness.
Elf master race.
Should I shed some light on this incident?
I think you and I should just rely on everyone else to guide us. I don't know if that's a good idea while we're trying to follow Animal right now.
I think light would give us away pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Just hold Lycum's fur.
If only we knew this
The
dark
issue
vision.
I don't have dark vision in direwolf form.
Well, you can smell your way.
Yeah, I can smell my way.
At
Or
this point,
alternatively, I could go on ahead, and you all could use light.
Guys, I do have a hooded lantern. See, the hooded lantern, I think it can emit dim light in like a 5-foot radius, but let me look.
But that would be visible from a much further distance if it's
That's
pitch
true.
black.
That's true.
Alternatively, I could just scout ahead, and you all could use the hooded lantern, and then I could motion for you to put it out, or tell you in some way if you need to.
All right,
That's
just
true.
go.
I'll go with you because I can tell them silently to put it out.
Well, I can too.
And I can see farther than you anyway.
it's been about a minute now as you
That's what you
having
say.
this discussion.
We need to go. If there's a turn here, we won't know where he went.
All right.
That's what you think.
Can I smell him at this point?
We have
you what?
the dire wolf.
Oh yeah, we do have a direwolf.
Can I smell him at this point? Have I gotten a smell of what animal might smell like? Like shit? Is animal?
Make a I guess make a perception check. See, my internal thing I'm thinking is, in order to smell something, you gotta know what it smells like. It's like
but it would be kind of like. Yeah, my thought was kind of like the ape thing that we ran into earlier. That I kind of just noticed that there was a different smell, and then I was able to kind of like track that a little bit.
He has been in the same room with Anwell before.
That's true.
That is true.
You do smell something a little different, yeah.
Okay, so I
Different
kind of
than
motioned to Banner to let him kind of know that I hopefully smell him. I think it's him.
You do the dog pointing thing.
Yeah. No, actually,
right.
I nip you on like the Achilles heel, Pete. Like, yeah, just to let you know that I'm here.
All right. Well, we're moving now. I hope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don and I will be out front.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead and make stealth checks as you do so, assuming that's what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one sec.
Okay.
I keep closing my character sheet. I don't know why I'm doing this.
I do the same
I do that.
thing.
I do that sometimes too. It's a bad habit.
I click roll, I close it, and I immediately have to roll again.
Yeah. Boys, I want to know what combat is like for you then. No, just kidding.
I keep it up for, well, I don't. I usually put in a different window for combat.
You continue on. It's really kind of hard to gauge how far it is. any other place, not the Feywild, you probably would have a pretty good. Actually, does anybody have, what is that, Outlander?
I don't think so. No, oh, Lakem does.
I do.
Oh.
Yeah. So I think you would have a general sense that you guys have continued on for about a quarter of a mile now, as you kind of manage to stumble your way down. For those of you who are not, who are basically blind, manage to stumble your way down and down and down.
It'd be hard to walk for a quarter of a mile with your eyes closed.
Oh, absolutely.
Were you guys not going to take the hooded lantern so we could tell you to put it out behind us?
I think that's what we were doing, actually. Okay. But, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I would have gotten it out.
That wasn't quite specified, so okay, good to know.
Can I keep an eye out for traps?
Yeah, I'm looking.
We're in like a tunnel, right?
Yeah, you're looking around. It's a rock formation. It's just a natural tunnel. It's nothing cut or anything like that.
I gotta put Ziva to bed here. I'll be back.
Okay. And as you continue on down, the earth actually turns cooler and damper as you are now well under what you would expect for a normal cave to be. Not necessarily a mine. It's a natural cave formation, and you see some very interesting things along the way. Nothing to really give you pause, but something like, oh yeah, that's kind of neat, you know. Kind of one thing you do see that was kind of interesting though is a stalagmite that actually, as you looked at it, it's a crystalline stalagmite, and as you're looking at it, it has what looks to be electric current running through it as it's just sitting there, and you kind of take note of it and continue on. Then the tunnel opens up into this gallery full of these same stalagmites, all with this kind of orange looking electric power current going through it. You manage to make your way through. Looking around, this chamber is really large. Make a perception check. It's really confusing to you. The smell that you smelled here is faint, and it seems to be coming in several different directions. And at first it was like, what in the world? You were trying to figure this out, and you realize that he was likely just kind of weaving through these stalagmites to get to wherever he's going. And of course, every time that he has gone through here, it's been a different path, as your senses are now slightly confused. You're not really sure what direction to go.
Are we that over to Banner?
I sense Lycom's confusion, and then he tells me, I feel for Talia to see if I can get any sense of direction.
All right. You do. Again, since you're underground, it kind of defies the traditional northwest, south, northeast, you know what I mean, north, south, east, west directional. But you feel they're off to the left somewhere.
And with electrical charges here, is there light, or is it?
Oh yeah, everything is in a dim light. Right.
Okay, I start trying to lead the way in the direction that I can feel then, since Lycom is now unable to smell and well, clearly.
All right.
It sounds like Beetle and Dawn are on the lookout for any kind of hazards or traps.
All right. Go ahead.
And should I make a stealth check too then, since I'm sort of up front now with them?
If you want to, yeah.
Okay. That's terrible.
Yeah, it is. Beetle and
Emerald is
Dawn.
back.
Beetle and Dawn both make perception checks as you're kind of scouting ahead. Nice.
Do I need to make one?
No.
It's better than what I'll get.
No.
Unless I roll 20.
Beetle, as you're going forward, you notice something on the ground. And you look down and you see these large, I know this is going to sound funny, these large beetles. Their carapace is roughly the size of you. They're large.
Are they alive?
Well, no. That's what drew your attention. They're laying on their back. You see, they look singed. As you look around, you see more beetles that look rather singed. About the same time, from behind you, you hear and you see this very large flash at the far end of the chamber as a spark bridges two stalagmites, seemingly at random.
They're bug zappers. Great. This is not beetle friendly.
What do you do?
Is it pretty clear to me that these dead beetles were zapped by the whatever lightning type force is?
I don't know. Is
buzzing
it?
Around. Well, I don't see or hear it with that check. I didn't see anything else threatening them, right?
No, you didn't see any other threatening thing.
Okay. I will kind of pull on Dawn's shirt and say, "We better be careful. I think that lightning stuff is killing these bugs. It might attack us."
I just nod and resolve to not get hit by lightning.
With a more resolved expression on her face, Dawn continues forward.
Do I see what looks like any particular pathway forward that looks safer than other ones?
There are, yeah, kind of, sort of. You see in areas where there is a definite lack of dead carapaces.
Okay. I'm going to lead us around that way then, going in the general direction still that Banner's been directing us.
All right.
Trying to help the party avoid getting hit.
All right. You're able to do so. As you do so, you hear, all of you, not just Beetle, but all of you hear another as other sparks begin to ignite.
When you made that motion, Brian, my Skype window shifted for some reason. It looks like you shook the window. Like,
and then you hear from in front of you, on the far end of the chamber, this kind of yeah. And that's all you hear. As more sparks begin to, and all of a sudden the entire room begins to erupt with sparks flying from stalagmite to stalagmite. What do you do?
I'm gonna try to. How far are we to what looks like the end of the room?
This room is approximately 50 yards in width and 100 yards wide. You're actually heading off to the left now. So you can barely see in front of you, maybe 40 yards in front of you at the far wall.
I start running toward.
As now, yeah, everything just.
Is that the direction? Is that the direction we heard the laughter?
Yeah.
I start running towards the laughter.
Yeah, I make a run for it too, trying to avoid.
How
getting
far
hit.
away is the laughter?
You can't tell. It's so.
Well, aren't the sparks like lighting up the area? I mean, it's flashes of light. Can't we see further now?
Yeah, but you can't see.
There's stuff in the way though, because there's
all kinds of stalagmites all around. It's like
okay, but is the whole of the visible room hazardous? Can we not see a safe spot down at the other end?
You can't see through the stalagmites. You're about 40 yards away, and there's probably 30 stalagmites kind of scattered between you and the end of the room. And speaking of which, now all of the other stalagmites that are around you begin to glow hotter.
Okay, yeah, I'm making a run for it.
Yeah.
We're just running.
Yep, and as you guys begin running, the stalagmites erupt with electricity as it just kind of into this huge explosion. Everyone make acrobatics checks. Or, sorry, dexterity saving throws. My apologies.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Beetle. Yeah, you're fine.
I'm gonna use Tides of Chaos on this one
Dang, Velas.
for advantage. 15.
Velas dances with lightning. That's his new nickname.
Lightning McGee.
All right.
I see. As I reach the other side, I go, well, I did think those ballet lessons were unnecessary, but apparently they,
I'm going to use a Band of Luck on Lycom's dex save to give him a d4.
Okay.
That's 16 for Lycom.
All right.
Subtract 2 sorcery points for that.
Let's see. Beetle. I'm missing.
Thank you very much.
Emerald,
Nope,
I
there it
think.
is. Banner.
I
Ooh,
save it for
Banner.
when I think
Ugh.
it might help.
All right.
You're on the
so,
border.
Everybody that rolled over a 10 takes 6 points of
Oh.
lightning
Damn.
damage, and everybody else takes 12. As you dive forward, run through the chamber 40 yards, just hoofing it. Everything is erupting all around you. You hear who actually got hit, like full on hit. Banner, you did.
Banner did, but I don't think Emerald rolled, did he?
He might not be back yet. He had to put the kid to bed.
You can roll
Oh,
for
I'm
Ryan.
back. I just did. It's
Oh,
19.
You're fine.
Oh, you're fine.
Yeah.
It takes 6 though, I think, right?
Yeah,
So
6.
I got hit. Actually,
Yeah, you got full on hit as you dive forward, and the bolt actually hits you square in the center of the back, and you kind of land on your face at the far end.
As I'm pulling
Go ahead.
as I'm pulling myself up, I just chug a regular healing potion because I'm heard Anwell laughing, and I'm not fooling around at this point.
All right,
Is that something I can do?
you can do it.
All right. I forget what that is. 2d4?
2d4 plus 2.
2d4 plus 2.
Okay.
All right.
Ouch.
That sucked,
Yeah.
but nope.
if you have them in inventory and click on one, it'll probably do it for you.
No, it doesn't. It
So
doesn't for me.
As you all kind of get up, Banner, you actually have a little fire on the square of your back, kind of where the electricity kind of
Smoke
hits you.
coming off.
You're like, oh man, you're like hitting it out, and you see
I chuckle.
indeed at the other end of the chamber that the tunnel continues. You continue on for maybe 40 feet before the tunnel actually splits into 3.
I do what I've been doing and see if I can get any sense of which tunnel might be the best choice. And I check with Lycom to see if he can make
Yeah,
a
I wouldn't mind
determination.
smelling and seeing if
All
I
right,
can
make
tell.
a perception check. Yeah, you're able to detect going down the right tunnel.
I
Go ahead.
let Lycom point it out to everybody, I guess, or tell everybody if he needs to tell me.
Yeah, I will do that.
You continue down the right tunnel for maybe another 60 feet, and then it Storm actually, Storm actually says, wait, and he kind of darts to the side of the tunnel, kind of hugging the wall. I need new stealth checks from everyone.
We're still trying to be stealthy after that? Okay.
Are you? I don't know.
I think it's pretty clear that he knows we're here, but
I mean,
it doesn't hurt
we're
for him
not
to not know exactly where we are.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're at least trying to be quiet. I would say maybe
Okay.
not, yeah, completely hide our presence, but
I cannot believe this.
Anuel sucks at seeing things coming. I guess that's good.
I mean, whatever. You you all see at the end of this dead end tunnel, Anwell doesn't seem to be concerned, believing you all to have apparently perished. Is best explanation I can come up with. Anwell looks around furtively and then crouches over another, what looks to be a recess into the cavern floor. He takes another rune stone from his pouch, again about the size of the palm of his hand, and he pushes it into the recess, and it sinks into the floor. You hear the soft sound of stone grinding on stone as he pushes it even further, and then you hear a click. For a moment, nothing happens, but then a tear forms in the cavern wall before him, forming some kind of black rupture that reaches to the cavern floor and writhes with a life of its own. Without hesitation, Anwell steps into the rupture and disappears.
that seems ominous. At
I
best.
run after him.
Banner! I
It's
run
like
after
a,
Banner.
It's like a portal.
I
It's
ran
a
after
rupture.
Dawn.
That's like
Okay,
an
I
unstable
mean-
portal.
I don't want that to close without me. I'm like freaking out. I guess. Banner starts running.
I run
I'd
after
book
him.
it after Banner.
Yeah.
I don't know if
It's like
anyone's gonna
cursing
tackle. I don't know if
Sylvan.
anyone's gonna tackle
Emerald
me or not,
puffs.
but that's what he does.
No, if Banner's going through, I'm going through. It's not like I can
Yeah.
stop him.
As you guys run forward and Storm's like neck and neck with you, he suddenly stops and he cries out in pain. And he kind of takes a couple of steps back, and he's holding his chest as he just kind of staggers.
I look at him as I keep moving slower. What do I see? I guess.
I can't go any further. This power is dangerous to me. You see,
I leave him.
Okay.
I leave him.
I leave him
We have
in.
seconds.
I start running.
Yeah.
Yeah, I start running. I'm not worried. If I don't feel it, I'm running still.
yeah,
I guess was my question.
you actually, Banner, I want you to make a
Okay.
wisdom.
Actually,
Just a general wisdom check, an unskilled wisdom check. It's your D20 plus your wisdom modifier.
There it is.
As you're getting close to this rupture, you feel a pull of something that you haven't felt in a long time. Matter of fact, it's a familiar feeling, but you can't quite place it. You felt it before. And just like that, you're through.
Okay.
The rest of
strange.
he's
you,
through. I'm through.
the rest of you, yeah, you run through. All of you run through.
I jump through.
All right.
Does it make that sound?
Yeah. It does. And he's gonna do the superhero landing when
Just
he
like the
gets through
bullet
too.
time.
All right. One moment. I gotta figure out where you guys ended up.
That sounds good.
Oh no.
Okay. Oops.
That's a lot of dice.
Yeah, one fell off the. I got to roll 6 times.
Congratulations, you all die in the plane of fire.
4, 5. Whoop. Come on, Brian. Oh.
Roll good for me. Don't know what good is because I don't know the
And
rolling.
Lycum dies in a blaze of fire.
We all go to different planes. That
Okay.
makes sense.
So 1, 2. All right. Banner
Yep.
and Dawn. You both kind of stagger in, and then you're looking around. You're in this room. It's a dirt floor, dusty dirt floor. The walls are crumbling. The smell of mold and something else is in this room with you as you're looking around. You see old chairs, broken chairs. You see a table. You see what looks to be what might have been at one time a house, an abode, a dwelling area. A small one. A common room of a poor family, perhaps. The door is long since gone, decayed over time. What do you do?
Is this a familiar room to Banner?
No.
Is it a familiar room to Dawn?
No.
Okay.
I'm looking. If it's empty, I guess I look through the door or the windows or something.
I look back the way we came. Is there any visible indicator of what we came to? Is there just a wall?
It's just a wall.
Banner, where are we? And where's everyone else?
Wait, what?
And that is when you both realize that you are quite alone.
I take off my hood, which requires an action for some reason.
I am looking. If there's a
It's like a
window
4-second
or
process.
a door, I'm taking a peek.
Yeah, there is a single
Sure.
solitary door in this enclosed room.
I crack it and look through it.
Well, actually, there's no door. It's just an open door frame.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, looking through the door, you see kind of a dirt footpath outside the door and then a wall. And when you kind of start to look around, you realize that the floor actually sharply slopes downward.
Do I feel Talia anymore?
Yes. She's a lot closer now. And
This room looks old, right?
very old.
So there's
very
dust
old.
everywhere.
There is dust everywhere.
I want to look and see if the dust has been disturbed recently to see if someone has come through here.
Yeah, you don't even you have to do a perception check. It hasn't. There's a thick
Okay.
layer of dust. Matter of fact, as you kind of stumbled in, you disturbed the dust, and you're kind of. There's
Doesn't
dust
look like
flying
anyone's
all
been
over.
here for a long time, Banner.
I feel Talia. She's closer.
What direction? Do you know how far?
Well, there's only one way. So,
Do you know how far?
do I know how far?
No.
Okay. I just know she's closer, and was already closer than I've ever felt.
Like
I
the
don't-
next room over, 1,000 feet away,
It's the Feywild.
a couple miles?
Either of those three sound like good options. I'd say less than a plane away. I just
I
thinking,
roll my eyes at him.
All right. If everyone else is in the same situation, I think they're going to be doing their best to get to wherever she or Anwell are.
Yeah, well, how are they going to know without you? Stay
Well,
here.
hopefully
just a
they're
moment.
like them.
As I say, stay here. I pull my hood up and I say, I'm going to take a peek in the next room.
Okay.
I like inch my way along the wall using the cloak as like chameleon
All right.
hiding.
So you're like inching
I'm
your
gonna
way
stealth
out,
through.
out that
I'm
doorway.
going to stealth through the. It's a hallway, right? It's still
It's a room with a doorway. That's it.
Okay, yeah. Well, first I'll peek through the door. If I don't see anybody,
Yeah.
then I will walk through.
Go ahead and make a perception check. Yeah, you don't see anybody.
Okay, I think Yeah, I say, oh, it looks like we're alone. I'm going to check it out. And I walk through. I'm going to stealth.
All right.
With
As you
advantage.
step out the door, you actually kind of are perhaps a little surprised as you're greeted with the sight of a gigantic chamber, subterranean chamber, larger than you've ever seen before. You can't even see. Off in the darkness, you can't even see where it ends.
Am I sure it's subterranean? It could just be night.
It is subterranean.
Okay.
As we're in the Feywild. So you see that you're actually, as you're looking around, on the upward slope of this bold chamber that's just huge. And as far as you can see, you see some great city shattered and dusty, the bones of some great city shattered and dusty, the remnants of which line the bowl of this massive chamber with crumbling rocks and vines. Far ahead of you, you see down on the floor of this cavern what looks to be a single wide path with broken cobblestones. Can't really see any more detail than that, but it bisects the city. And you also see in the center of these ruins a massive Gothic-looking structure of square towers and dark stone that rests in the middle, and is one of the few buildings that you can see that's relatively untouched. Meanwhile, Beetle and Emeraldi and Velis.
Okay.
You actually pop out about 20 feet in the air.
Great.
And you, at least you think it is, because it's like all of a sudden it looks like everything's so far away, and then you realize that you didn't really pop out 20 feet in the air. You're actually on a ledge,
Okay.
but you're laying down, and your heads are all three of your heads are like over the ledge looking down, and as if you were just laying there. And you see the same sight that you saw before, except for I'm sorry, not you, but that I just described to
The
Dawn.
city.
The city, with the exception that you are you have about a 20-foot vantage point above the city on what looks to be, like I said, some kind of ledge. You also do see some hints of movement here and there throughout the city. You can't really see what it is. It almost, Beetle, to you, it almost seems like some kind of shadow moving around here and there.
Can I make a perception check to try to see more clearly?
At disadvantage. Because it's
even better. I'm going to
distance.
send Cog out and look through his eyes.
All right. So Cog needs to make a perception check.
Okay, I should pull up his sheet then.
At disadvantage.
Okay.
All right. Basically, the mental impression that you receive from, actually, you're looking through his Cog's eyes, and what you see through Cog's eyes, whatever these things are, the whatever the movement is you saw, there seem to be shorter creatures, maybe about your size, but it's hard to tell. It's like shadows moving within shadows. But it's not just one location. As Cog kind of looking around, you see them like here and there and, scattered throughout this entire ruins.
Okay.
And as Cogwheel's back, he also manages to see a very confused looking Dawn emerge from this doorway far, far to the left of this chamber, high up on the bowl.
About how far away does she look from where Cog is?
Maybe it's hard to tell because it's such long distance.
50 miles.
Actually, I take that back. You would not see her. She's too far away.
I'm not there. Also, I'm super stealthed.
Also, Banner was going to go out the door to sort of step at least out the door, but if that changes things, that is forthcoming. But
like him. I rolled a natural 1 for you.
Oh no.
Are you in direwolf form still?
I am.
Alright. So here's the deal. You have 5 seconds to decide to what to do after I tell you what has happened. You find yourself looking into the eyes of Vanwell.
what?
As he kind of blinks a couple of times, he goes, "A wolf? What do you do?"
I drop direwolf form and cast Hold Person.
Go for the jugular.
Immediately just drop and cast Hold Person on him.
Nice.
All right. What's your
And
DC?
stab him repeatedly.
This is insane.
All right. What's your DC on that?
Spell save DC is 14.
All right.
I'm going to convert a level 1 spell slot to sorcery points.
Oh,
It's wisdom.
Level 2, actually. I changed my mind. I actually don't know how many that gives me. I have to look now.
All right. So this is what happens. You see the familiar signs of his muscles starting to stiff, and his surprise quickly turns to anger as he goes, "Not a wolf," and he waves his hand, and you feel a force. Make a force hit your mind. Make a wisdom saving throw.
What is your spell save DC like him?
14.
he might have used a.
As soon as his hand goes over your eyes, you blink a couple of times and realize that you find yourself in this kind of misty plain. It's a flat plain as far as you can see. Everywhere you look, it's featureless. There's nothing. You feel this great overwhelming fear kind of grip your heart. And it lasts what feels like an eternity. When in reality it may have lasted only maybe 30 seconds. Slowly the misty realm that you in starts to flicker and fade. The fear begins to drain out of your heart, and you find yourself in the middle of this wide cobblestone road, standing in front of this squat Gothic structure. What do you do?
Be really confused for a moment, probably.
Yeah, I really haven't I'm gonna start looking around because I was just in front of Anwell and I just cast a spell and all of a sudden now I'm here, so I'm gonna look around and see what's going on.
All right. You look around. You see the same city ruins that I described to Dawn earlier. The broken cobblestone road you're on leads directly to this squat Gothic-looking structure. It's old. It's old beyond what you can even fathom. You also hear a kind of this skittering sound off to your left and right as you hear, the boss is here. Come, we've got to get him. What do you do?
I think I'm going after the noise. Yeah, I'm gonna head to the left, off towards the noise. Since I don't know where anybody else is, I'm gonna go that way.
All right, you're just charging forward?
I'm gonna try to stealth as much as I can. I'm gonna quickly, stealthily head that way.
All right, make a stealth check. Okay. Oh, that was actually the wrong one. You round the corner and head into what looks to be an alley towards the noise. The skittering noise to the right is receding behind you, but as you enter the alley, you see what looks to be this squat-looking form wearing a hood and a kind of a cloaked hood that looks like it's leafed, but it's not armored. It's just kind of this strange leafed leather, and holding this wicked-looking short sword. And as you turn and go into it, he just says, and he dives forward towards you with the short sword and misses as he lunges forward. What do you do?
I'm going to cast.
You cast Kill Anwell.
Yeah. No, I change into direwolf form and empower because I can't attack, but if I do both, so yeah, I'm gonna change into direwolf form and empower.
You can't turn into a direwolf as a bonus action?
It is, but my empower is also a bonus action or action. So, yeah. Cool. So I am in direwolf form again.
And who just attacked?
Brian, I'm going to drink a normal health potion.
Okay.
6 hit points.
All right, so you're a direwolf as a bonus action, and then what?
I'm gonna cast the feral thing. I don't have it.
Okay, the feral rage.
Yep, no, feral rage. There you go.
This is. I don't know.
Oh yeah, no, feral spirit. Sorry, that one. Yeah. It's the last one.
All right, in response to that, this creature is going to try and attack you once again in criticals for
a lot of damage.
Yeah. 24 damage as he slices into you, and he kind of gives this evil chuckle. What do you do?
I'm going to attack him.
All right.
Can we hear this from where?
I was gonna ask if we could hear the sounds.
Everyone make a perception check.
Best perception checks.
What do my elf ears hear?
Dawn and Banner, you both hear kind of this yelp echoing off the walls. You recognize this yelp. having
I
been
run.
in battle with him.
Wait, how far away do I think?
I
it
don't
is?
hear a yelp. I hear like him saying, "Oh my gosh, it
How far away?
hurts." And
How far away do you think it is?
Um,
Do I think it is?
It's you can tell it's coming from near the road, which is
How far away
a
is that?
ways. It's a few hundred yards.
Okay, I grab banner and dimension door right there.
oh,
How big is what's the distance on that?
500 feet.
500 feet. If I don't think it's going to be enough, I'm going to distance spell for 1,000 feet.
woo! All right.
All right, I gotta do math here.
So-
Wow.
I tried to combo my spells I'm taking with ones that I can use with distance spell, and dimension door was a very good candidate for that
All
one.
right.
You might have just saved Lycom's life with that one.
1,000-foot teleport
Yep.
at level 6. Not many characters do that.
Yeah, you would actually have to use the
Distance
the fold.
spell?
Yep.
All right, I'll do it.
Um,
Expand this sorcery point to do that.
Yeah. So as
Oh, by the way, I've expended Tides of Chaos, so if you want a Wild Surge to happen, it can.
all right,
But one did
Um,
not happen naturally.
like as you take this hard blow, all of a sudden, Banner
I grab-
and Dawn just kind of appear out of nowhere. As she
Yeah, I don't
kind of
say anything. I
steps
just
over
grab his
this-
arm and teleport.
this arcane doorway that just kind of pops up out of nowhere. Yeah, you strength save. You hit him for 14 piercing damage as you kind of clamp on his.
I like to imagine my cloak flutters with the magic and a burst of blue energy, and I make it strike a cool
Ooh.
pose as I appear.
And he makes his strength save.
And the banner's like, "What the fuck?"
Yep, Banner, you were just kind of drugged by
It's
the
like,
scruff
it's like
of
when
your
people
neck.
walk through the Stargate. He's just like, what?
Velis, no, but Beetle, you also hear as well.
All right.
In the distance, you actually, I will say this, since he was not too far down that road and too far away from you, that you actually saw him, like, you saw the whole exchange between Anwell and Lycum as he literally just kind of pops up out of nowhere. And what you saw, Beetle, was he began to stiffen up, but then it seems like whatever he did, he broke out of that, and then he just passed his hand over Lycum's eyes, and Lycum was there, but then he just kind of faded away.
And then do I hear him yelp in pain?
Yep, and you can tell from that yelp that it's much further down that road.
Okay, I tell
So-
Cog to
Wait.
follow Anwell and
Wait.
see where he goes.
Wait.
Velis?
So we saw the exchange between Anwell and
Just Beetle
like-
did. I think.
I did. I don't think you did.
Okay. Okay.
So I tell Cog, Anwell's right there. I need you to very stealthily follow him and see where he goes, and then come and get me and let me know where he goes. And I pull the boys down and I start sliding down the slope to get to the city. And I'm hoping I can use my city secrets to get to wherever I heard Lycum really, really quickly.
I'll allow it because that was a cool idea.
Okay.
Yeah, you're able to. I mean, it's an old city, and you've never been in a city this old. Matter of fact, looking around, this construction is completely alien to you, but somehow reminiscent a little bit of Sildier. Now that you kind of dart through the side alleys and stuff, and Velis and Emeraldi are both trying to keep up as you do so. It takes you a while to get there, so I'm going to leave you guys there and go back to Banner Dawn. You see Lycum attack this strange cloaked creature after he embedded his short sword right into Lycum's side. What do you wish to do?
I appear and I say, "Surrender if you want to live."
Can Lycum, for his
I
bonus
try-
action, After he attacks, can I heal? Do my
I don't know
wild
what the
shape
fuck's
heal?
going on, so I just say the first thing that comes to mind.
All right.
I just pile on. I attack since Lycum attacked, so
Okay.
that's what Banner's gonna do.
Yeah, but
Alright.
since I was expecting the teleport, I assume I get to say something first.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
I
can
see.
you can say all you want.
Okay, does that do anything?
He looks at you and he just kind of looks a little puzzled, and that's about
That's
it.
fine. Okay, we can kill him now.
All right.
We can kill him without a guilty conscience.
Proper murder hobos up in here.
Hey, we gave him a chance to
No,
surrender.
I know. I'm kidding. We obviously are getting attacked.
All right. Like you're not up yet. Banner, go ahead.
And my attacks.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, keep on have to look at it. Yeah, you definitely hit both times as you actually managed to slam your glaive right into his guts the second time. Actually, I gotta take a look at it. And yeah, he's dead as he just kind of gives this kind of ghastly groan as he kind of slumps to the ground. You pull your glaive back and notice this black, viscous blood on your glaive as you do so.
I don't know what the hell just happened, but are you all right?
I don't know what the hell just happened either, but I saw Anwil. I tried to hold person him. Then he disappeared, and I went someplace misty, and then I was in front of this dude and heard him, and so I chased after, and he attacked me, so I attacked him back.
You were next to Anwell? You were with Anwell?
For a split second, I tried to hold person him as fast as I could, but he was more powerful than I am.
Baranar, that's insane.
I was doing what I could. That was...
Jeez, I'm glad you're all right.
Whew.
Brian, I'm moving sorcery points around.
Okay.
That was really awesome. That was kind of incredible, Don, by the way.
Yeah, that took a lot out of me. I can probably only do that one more time.
About this time, a wild surge happens, Dawn. Just as Beetle and Velis and Emeraldi
good.
arrive.
Perfect time.
I'm glad I get my Tides of Chaos back. I need it.
Perfect time for a fireball on self.
All right. Let me flip to the page real quick. Creatures have disadvantage on saving throws against the next spell I cast in the next minute that involves a saving throw. Quick, find an enemy.
Beetle, Emeraldi, and Velis, you manage with Beetle's expertise in cities and kind of their rough layout to arrive at the tail end of whatever it is that they were fighting. This pale-skinned, actually, as you're looking at it, this creature has a long nose and sharpened teeth and long white eyebrows and like pale, almost indigo skin. A leafy, what looks to be a leafy cloak, a leafy leather cloak, and a cloven hooves for feet.
Do any of us recognize what it is?
No, none of you would.
Does he have pockets to frisk? Can I kind of like rifle him?
Yeah, you can rifle him.
Wait, so Lycum was with Anwell, guys. That's what he told me.
Yeah, we saw that. In fact, I sent Cog after Anwell to see where he went. Whenever Anwell goes wherever he's going, Cog will come find me, and he can lead us there.
Is anyone injured?
I think Lycum is.
No, I'm actually good.
Never mind, he's good.
Let me
Yeah.
check your... Do you have a wound? Let me check your wound.
I think he healed it himself. I'm not sure.
I have a wild shape heal that I can do, so I did that.
What? So was that guy with him too then, or that thing?
I didn't
I-
see any of those things.
I relay what I heard him say. Like he was talking about master and stuff. I don't know exactly what it was, but he attacked me, so I bit back.
Lycum says...
Beetle, you find 23 gold.
Oh, wow. They're pretty rich for little pygmy.
Where was the weapon? Did it have any weapons, or did it bite or claw you?
It has short swords.
Yeah, had a short sword.
Emerald, he looks at the weapon to see if it maybe has any coatings on it or anything.
Make a perception check. Actually, don't bother. The weapon doesn't look particularly significant. Yeah. However, as you're looking at it, you see that the corpse is starting to kind of give off this flash of dark energy as it begins to kind of go.
Move, and I step back 6 feet.
I follow suit.
Yep.
All right. And as you guys do, the body actually explodes in this kind of bright flash as light kind of escapes its mouth and its eyes, and it seems to arch its back, and then just like that, it's gone in a flash of light. And you see nothing else.
I actually kind of miss having that eye now. You know, minus the making me crazy thing.
I don't miss you having that eye, like, at all.
I just feel like there was something there that we didn't see.
Emerald,
I'm
takes
happy enough not having seen it.
short sword to Beetle. You don't think there's anything about this sword, do you, that Lycan would I need to worry about? Any poison or anything?
I look at the sword. Does it look like it's been
Does it look
anointed?
evil?
It's old. It's actually got rust spots on it, a couple of notches in it. It looks really in bad shape, if anything.
Okay.
It might give you an infection, but I don't think
I
it'll
shrug
poison you.
and I shrug and I say he might need a tetanus shot.
Should we hurry up and follow Cog?
What's a tetanus shot?
I don't know what a tetanus shot is. It's just something I heard someone say once. Can I sense
Temple of
where
Malora.
Cog is?
Yeah. He's actually, the last you were aware of, he went in the direction of that large building in the
He was
center.
headed towards that big, interesting-looking sort of building with all the arches and stuff on it. I think he was headed that way. So let's go that way. Maybe we'll meet up with him.
All right. That's what we do. I do.
Yeah.
All right. It's not too long before Cog does indeed come back.
Okay. I ask him if he saw anything important.
He basically conveys to you the sight of this flame-haired individual, who you now know as Andwell,
Okay.
walking into this big squat structure.
Okay. I'm going to have Cogs stay about 50 feet overhead so that he can kind of direct us where we can avoid these creatures. Because I saw a lot of them sort of skulking around when we were up there.
Yep.
Or what I assume was a lot of them now that I've seen one up close. So I want to try to avoid them and go... I mean, you guys... I think we should try to avoid these guys and just go straight after Anwal. These things are here to...
I'm here to
Waylay
kill
us.
Anwell, not pygmy whatever these are.
Right. All right, so I send Cog up, and I have him between him and my city streets. I'm hoping that we can get to that building as quickly as possible without any incident.
All right, and you doing so stealthily?
Yes.
All right, stealth checks.
For everyone?
Yeah, well, for everyone sneaking. Wow. Oh, that's Beetle. That's Cog.
Beetle didn't do much better.
Hey, Banner's in the top tier of stealthy people for once.
Lycum is in his form as stealthy as he possibly could get, and he rolled the worst possible roll.
All right. You guys managed to make some headway towards this squat structure. It's not that far off. However, as you're kind of looking skyward, let me see here.
No.
Oh yeah. As you're looking skyward, you see Cog nearing the squat structures. There's four Gothic-looking towers on each corner of this squat structure in the middle. And as you're looking up, you see 3 lances of fire shoot out from the top of one of these towers, and you hear a horrendous squawk as Cog is immolated by this fire.
Does that mean Cog's dead? Because we're in the Feywild.
And he kind of falls lifelessly to the ground.
No! I start running towards Cog's corpse because I think he's dead because we're in the Feywild.
It doesn't really take... Like, Beetle runs for him too, not realizing that this is a possibility yet.
I pour a little dab of healing potion in his little beak, if there's a beak there still.
You get there, and all you find is a pile of ash.
No!
Oh no.
Beetle... I'm sorry.
Maybe I can summon him again later. I don't know how this works when he's here.
Oh, okay.
He's a spirit. I don't know if he can die. I guess we'll find out. And I
think we should worry about our own survival first.
Yeah.
Not that I don't sympathize.
At this point, you are on the left edge of this broken cobblestone road leading up to this structure.
Did I see where?
Go ahead.
Did I see where the fire lanced out?
Yeah, it was from the top of one of the towers.
And how? And
towards you and to the left.
Okay, and so Cog was flying 50 feet up. How high is that tower?
It's a good 40 feet.
Okay.
They're pretty. I mean, this is a big structure. This is almost like a castle in size. Speaking of which, you do see that there's a wall surrounding it. The wall is not in good shape. It's crumbling just from disrepair and old age. There are rents in the wall that can be seen with the naked eye. On either side of these large, old-looking gates that are also cracked and worn with age, you see 2 plate-armored humanoid figures. Their legs actually looking disproportionately long, almost stork-like in nature. Their helmet, the front of their helmet actually coming down to a point reminiscent of a beak. Both of them carrying or holding 2 large two-handed swords, or each one is carrying a two-handed sword. Their points just kind of resting on the ground. They seem to be almost swaying in place as they stand there. You're not even sure that these things are alive. It's hard to tell. There's no sign of life, no sound of life. What do you do?
I stare at the tower in anger, and I'm like, so what are we doing? Are we charging in?
I'm a little concerned about us charging in between fire lances and whatever those things are. Maybe we need a distraction to try to draw them away.
Dawn and Velis, if you want to try to identify that spell, by the way, go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Oh, it's probably Scorching Ray.
I wouldn't know it. I haven't completed my studying yet.
That's true. Yeah, Velis, you do recognize it as Scorching Ray. Just a simple little level 2, and one of the best level 2 spells I've ever seen. Sorry, personal bias got in the way. Yeah, it was Scorching Ray.
Would Velis, can I do a Arcana check on the result of Cog dying here?
Sure.
Beetle didn't do one on purpose. She doesn't want to know right now.
You believe that, for the most part, Cog will be fine. Had it been a different kind of attack, perhaps by divination magic, or something in a similar vein, that might not have been the case. But given that it was just a straight fire-based spell, you believe that it's likely that Cog is going to be fine.
Alrighty.
If Lycum and I were to both climb the wall, would it be feasible for all of us to just go up to the tower? Could Lycum and I, the two of us, get the four of you up there?
I have a potion of climbing.
Ooh.
How? I look at him. I'm like, I don't have any more shapes to turn into this unless we take a short rest. So
never mind. That's not something he can do. I think we just have to go in. He knows we're here now.
Well, it might not hurt to try to avoid whatever those things are. And I point to the construct type things.
As you do so, something catches your eye. You look back at him and you see kind of these wispy-like, supernatural kind of ghost-like tendrils coming out from some of the cracks in their armor.
What the heck? In my study of their constructs, right? As far as I can see.
Make an Arcana check. These are definitely not constructs.
Okay. Do I have any idea what they are?
Never seen anything like this before. This is
Okay.
something that is altogether alien to you.
Okay. And I don't recognize anything about what kind of magic that might be seeping out from them. It just looks like shadows.
Well, you're not even sure it is magic. It looks like some kind of, ghostly, supernatural, wispy something. You can't really tell.
Is it just me, or is there like some weird sort of creepy shadow mist kind of creeping out from their armor?
It is quite odd. I stare at it, and I'll do an Arcana check as well.
Yep, same thing. You know that they're not constructs.
Can the do a religion check?
Yes, you may. Unfortunately,
I don't know either.
yeah, no, this is something a little beyond your guys' experience.
I am looking in the wall to see if there's another way past the opening, the first wall.
Yeah.
Like,
So
since it's falling apart.
looking at the wall, there are great rents in the wall. Some of them go down like it's an open chunk out of the wall. Like it wouldn't, you could walk through it.
Okay. Well, then we don't even have to go past them, or unless they're at the front door. I'm not sure. I thought they were at the gate. Are they at the front door?
They're at the gate there.
Oh, okay. Well, then let's just walk around. They're just standing there.
Well, wait a minute. If we go around the back way, looking up the tower, it's in ruins. Does it look like there's a place where if we climbed up, we might be able to just avoid this front door altogether?
Well, it's not just one tower, I would add.
Or just any place that's like
All right,
up higher.
Hold on. Let me give you guys a little bit of visual. I am sensing some confusion here. Give me just a second. Actually, you want to make... we're almost done, actually. So, come on. It's a rather simplistic and straightforward structure. Something out of place in that you've not seen anything like this in the Feywild. Why is that like that? I'm drawing real quick. Give me just a second. I am not a very good drawer, so take this with a grain of salt.
It's like a 4-tower in a box?
Yep, it's a simple 4-tower squat Gothic-looking structure.
Are those walls connecting them?
No, that's the actual outer wall of the structure. You guys actually can't see like the bottom part. These towers are all you can see. You are outside of the walls. The walls are not visible on this drawing.
How far away is the structure from us?
Inside the wall, it's about 20 yards.
And we're right outside the wall?
Yeah, you're about 20 yards out, so about 40 yards away.
Okay. And then these armored entities are between us and the gate to get in.
The gate, yes.
But there's holes in the wall, so...
Correct. And as far as you know, from the way it looks, the that bolt of the scorching ray came from this tower. The tower with the red square in it. The red square in it. Does that...
It's the commies.
Is that easier to understand?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Damn
can we go
communists.
investigate holes in the wall and see if we can just slip through?
You can certainly
I
do
could
that.
teleport up to the tower, but I have a feeling that would be a monumentally bad idea. With that in mind, I will take Beetle with me when I do it. No, I'm kidding.
All right.
Yeah.
So here's
You're gonna
the deal.
Rambo it.
It's 9:34. And you guys good to go for a little while longer.
How long is a little while longer?
9:45.
15 minutes?
Roughly.
That's like
Yeah.
nothing. Yeah.
I thought you meant like 45. So I can do 15 minutes.
Yeah, you can easily. I mean, you don't have to investigate the rents in the wall. I mean, they're there. It's kind of hard to miss. If you want to try to stealth up to them, you can.
Mhm.
All right.
I'm gonna try to use my invisible mage hand and kind of poke through and see if anything happens.
I'll be back.
All right. Yeah, you do. Actually, everybody make stealth checks. Since, Banner had to scream and everybody had to run towards a pile of ash.
I didn't scream. I was just like, no. to myself internally.
Oh.
Sorry.
Internally. Okay.
Well, no. I mean, if I was screaming, he would have been like, "No!" I feel like,
man, these rolls
and
tonight.
either way, Banner is crit failing. He's given up on stealth. He doesn't care anymore. He's just marching in.
Which is a good thing, probably. Actually, what's the order of marching here?
Well, I was the first one to look at the walls, so I don't mind going first. Or I would be one of the first, I feel like, to step through a crack. But I don't have to be.
No, I'm kind of holding my back because I want to like poke through a crack and make sure nothing bad happens. Like if they're warded by magic or something.
Okay.
I'm using my invisible mage hand from like 30 feet away, basically, to go like poke and like move it through and see if it can just go through.
It goes through. It doesn't seem like it met any resistance.
Okay. I think we might be able to go through there. I don't know how well guarded these holes are.
Since I rolled a critical 1. Okay.
Well, Emeraldi isn't too much better. Even with he rolled a natural 2.
I'm ready to kill Anwell already. And I walk through.
As you
I have advantage as a reminder.
Okay.
It's our natural one.
As you near the gate, Banner, you again.
Gate.
I'm sorry, the hole in the wall.
Okay.
Which we have rechristened as the gate.
As you do so, you again feel this this familiar feeling, this kind of dark pull inside of you. To the right, where the gate is, far to the right, about 40 feet or so, the strange humanoid plate armored thing kind of straightens up, and you hear kind of this screeching sound as its helmet kind of moves slowly in your direction, and you hear this hollow sounding voice saying, "I smell the taint of corruption." As he
I am corrupted.
sniffs the air. What do you do?
He looks at me when he says that?
He looks over in your direction. You don't know if he actually sees you, per se.
I would imagine if he's speaking at you, he knows.
Well,
I mean,
he's not speaking at Banner. He's just saying it. And as he's saying that, one of his partner across kind of starts jerkily walking towards the direction of the speaker. The sound of metal on stone as he's dragging his two-handed sword behind him.
Okay.
I'm
going to... How far away are they from us?
They're about 60 feet.
Perfect. I'm going to use Silent Image and create an image of Banner. Just sort of like peeking out from like, I don't know, something. And I'm going to use Minor Illusion to make scuffling sounds. Like,
I think they smelled me though.
I can't make smells with Minor Illusion, can I?
You make it smell like
wait,
Banner.
I can make smells with prestidigitation. I think it has to be closer than that. Let's see, wait. Minor Illusion. Just look here. It can be a smell. Yes, I'm gonna make like the scent of fear come from him. That image.
All right, silent image. I gotta look at that. Hold on.
Oh, I can pop it up for you.
Oh my. This will be interesting.
Okay, the silent image is okay. Blah blah blah.
The inferior cousin of Major Image.
The Minor Illusion is where the smell's coming from, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Whatever fear smells like.
Yeah, I was trying to think of that. I'm like, how does that work? Maybe it's
like the smell of a cold sweat.
Like cold sweat.
Yeah.
Maybe fear smells like urine. You know, Peter's pants.
I would think like cold sweat and like, yeah, maybe that.
So what is the image you're making?
Banner.
Okay.
All right.
Meanwhile, Banner has drawn his glaive and is staring these things down, ready. Not like making himself known, but preparing himself if they're headed his way. Because he's inside the wall with nowhere to go.
My intent is to give us a distraction so we can slip all the way around, like into whatever we're. Well, we think
you could have just like thrown a rock behind them or something. That works in video games.
Well, I never use my spell slots at this level for anything except for summoning cogs.
My illusion spell is 3rd level. I can't just cast it willy-nilly.
Intelligence investigation.
You should have made like a big bush and had it slowly slide with us as we walked across the...
It can't move.
A cardboard box.
And what's the DC?
It can move.
DC is 14.
All right. The one starting to walk over towards the speaker, the original speaker, doesn't seem to. He sees the illusion and he starts kind of walking, and it's a more jerky walk, but it's quicker as he's now takes both hands and raises the two-handed sword. However,
do I have a sense of where we're trying to get to in here? Like probably that tower, because I think that's where Amwell is.
I mean, the only thing you know about that tower is a scorching ray was shot out from on top of it.
I'm going to use message then. Say, Banner, where's Talia? Where do we need to go?
Is this thing swinging a sword at me in my direction or the direction of the illusion?
Well, I was actually in the process of telling you. As this one is going towards the illusion, the other one, the original speaker, straightens up and starts moving towards you, Banner.
Okay.
All right, let's do this then. I'm looking around. If there's not a way through the wall into the building, I'm just gonna like step towards this thing because there's nowhere to go.
As he does so, you hear this hollow sounding voice again, kind of almost metallic in nature, as it says, "We have an intruder." And you see from the distance several more of these creatures that you and Dawn and Lycum had dispatched, kind of resolving themselves from the shadows from across the road as they run towards you.
Oh,
and
son
that's
that's
where we're going to end for the evening.
It ends with Banner going, "Ah, son of a..."
Exactly. Well, that concludes this episode of our D&D Forgotten Realms campaign with Protectors. If you have enjoyed this episode or any of these other episodes, please remember to hit the like button for this video. Subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more episodes. You can also watch us live on Twitch TV and follow us on Twitter, both links of which are down below in the description of this video. Until next time, I hope you have a great day.